Peace, y'all. Before we get started, I felt compelled to remind everyone to stay safe and stay abreast of all the atrocities happening around the world. The people of Palestine, Tigray, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and countless other territories are currently fighting for their rights and their lives. And if you're choosing to take action, please take every precaution you can. Stay hydrated, stay in groups, cover your face, and please, more than anything, don't lose hope. I've been leaving links to organizations and resources at the bottom of every episode description for a good minute, so please go check those out for places to donate and to find ways to take action today. We're not free until all oppressed people in the States and abroad are free. Much love, stay strong. Now let's keep this shit moving. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Atlanta producer, label owner, and manager Popstar Benny. We spoke about the Righteous Gemstones, Euphoria, Hard Candy, the filmography of Harmony Korine, our mutual love for Gorillaz, establishing Popstar FM, how his music is as hip-hop as it gets, the beauty of Atlanta, and the creative process behind his last two albums, University and Oasis, out now on True Panther. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another late-ish night episode of Real Notes. It's like 6:07 on my end. It's 3:07 out in Cali. My name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit. Outside, inside, all sides. The year's winding down, but I'm not. It feels cool to, like we're ending the year on a nice note, especially being able to have today's guest on. All the guests on my show are special, man. I say it all the time, but this is a real heavy hitter we got on this motherfucker today, man. Like, this is a producer, he's a manager, his sound pulls from like 80 different things, turns it all into candy-colored video gamey rap bliss. He's produced for artists. He's produced for some people you might have heard of, fucking Bear One Boss and Tony Snow and Lucille Gotti and Mercury, Mike, Niante, fucking some small-time Florida dude named Rod Wave that you may have heard of. Fucking Sideshow. What'd you say?
They might know you.
Yeah, like on some shit. Sideshow. I mean, I could sit here and list names all day. Son has worked with everybody worth working with right now. He pulls from everywhere, and everyone's appreciative of it. Popstar FM is popping. His management game is popping. Popstar Benny is in the fucking house tonight, man. I just.
Nah, thank you, gang. Thank you.
Nah, you already. Yeah, nah, man. Like, it's what's it called? Oasis is out everywhere now. Go find it. Shout out to True Panther. Fucking listen to it. It's not even 20 minutes, but like, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this project. Like, it's just so easy to fall back into, man. Like, it's been a trip. But Benny, thank you so much for being here, man. It means the world. Like, yes, so much.
Sir. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Nah, man. Yeah, nah. I remember when man, I wish I could remember the first beat of yours I ever heard, but I remember sitting down and listening to University a couple of years ago and just being like, because I was still at Pitchfork at the time, and I was like, I'm reviewing this. Like, this is mine. Like, this is some like this is somebody who knows my heart. So I needed to sit down and write that, and then I got to see you at the Nobels thing at Misa Bor. Obviously you made a whole album with my homegirl Lucille Gotti, so shout out to Gotti, shout out to Iman. And yeah, man, it's just, yeah, you got so much going on, and I love to see it, and I'm happy you're here, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Much appreciated.
You already. Let me ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is what was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Strong opinion? Probably the Righteous Gemstones on HBO. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Gemstones. How do you feel about the Gemstones?
Yeah, I still do gotta watch the whole new season that they dropped, season 3. But yeah, I just feel like that show's like the perfect like blend of like satire, like humor, and then just like real good cinematography. 'Cause that's one thing I will say about all the HBO shows is like all of them is like produced to a level, but like that exact like slice of like southern life and like church culture. Like I said, the spin of humor and like drama, it's like it's a real particular blend, but they like do it so crazily.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Like I was already in on just like having John Goodman play another preacher, because like John Goodman can play the shit out of a fucking preacher, a Bible salesman. Like you put him in a Baptist environment and he's just gonna eat the fucking scenery.
yeah,
But yeah, nah, like just like the whole story of the Gemstone family, how the kids are all spoiled and the dad's just fucked up about it all the time. And yeah, like it's like I'm a Danny McBride fan, so I had already come in kind of off of like the Pineapple Express vibes, and I haven't seen a bunch of Eastbound and Down, but like I don't know, like that sensibility of like him just playing like the loser and shit, and like you could tell that he also grew up like in the church and in that like very like
yeah. That's the
you
thing is
know
like
like
everybody like it's casted so crazy because I'm like everyone like they really are channeling that like exact vibe like exactly. It is so crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's so wild. And like I just um what's it called? My mother stays in Texas. They go to a mega church. So like I haven't been in the church, but like I know like I get runoff of like what that just lifestyle is like. So like knowing the details and seeing it play out, and just like it's like obviously they're making fun of a lot of it, but they're also like kinder than they need to be, if that makes sense, like about some of the
Yeah,
shit they do. So it's like, but like you could just tell that they've like really lived it and did their homework and wanted to at least like, hey, like if we're gonna make fun of this shit, we gotta at least do it right.
exactly. Yeah, so that's the last show that I watched. I was like, oh man, like this is the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like and yeah, like not and like I have because I'm all caught up. I saw the third season when it aired. I need to talk to somebody. We got to talk about fucking baby fucking Billy, bro. How do you feel about baby goddamn Billy?
Right. He really the star of the show. That's what I'm saying. Like it's casted so well because like someone like him, it's like you believe it. It's like if this wasn't a
Yeah,
show, I would feel like, no, this is this exact guy, or like, or he grew up watching this exact guy and his family, or he
yeah.
grew up with like this exact guy, like maybe it was his older brother or some shit. Like it's like, yeah, no, they really live that. But no, that nigga's hilarious for sure.
Yeah, no, he's incredible. Like you haven't seen the third season, so I'm not gonna spoil. Like I all I'm gonna say is I wish he was in this season more. He's like they like because like I think he might have had something else to shoot at that time. So like he's in season 2 like a ton. They go into his backstory and he gets like the whole arc with his kid and shit. Um, man, now I'm sitting here and thinking about the show and it's all coming back to me. I haven't watched the shit in like I haven't watched it in months. So like it's all just like I'm remembering like the whole Eric Andre thing and their family and
Yeah,
God,
like
yo,
that shit gets crazy deep. Like even Andre, exactly. He came on there. He put, bruh, like that was like damn near the first dramatic role I've seen him in.
yeah,
And yeah, like just walking that line, like of course it's like humorous and satire, but like it's just real particular. Yeah,
because the second season's the one where that's the one with Eric Andre and their family, and then like the people die in their house, right? The second
yeah,
season.
yeah. I
Okay,
wanted.
cool.
I think that was the one. Yeah, where it's like they tried to do the robbery or some shit, or
Right. Okay.
the journalist, or
Okay.
it was some yeah.
Yeah. No. He's gonna. Yeah. Okay. I just had to make sure I got the seasons right. Like I said, it's been so long since I've tapped in. I've just been like patiently waiting for season 4. Like
Yeah.
me and my partner, like we're like super fucking tapped in. I'm so ready. Um, I gotta ask, how'd you get put on? How'd you first hear about it? Did you start watching it recently?
Nah, nah. I started watching it. I think like at the same time Euphoria was on, because like I had a friend who told me about it, and then it was like I think they both like would drop the same day, so it would be like a cool little like, all right, I'm doing a live watch of Euphoria with everybody on Twitter, and
Yeah.
then like, secondarily, or maybe the next morning, I got like this other equally as engaging show to like put on type shit. So yeah, as I said, HBO just be on it. Like they be having some heavy hitters.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, nah, like it's because like between we got the Gemstones, I have a lot of feelings about Euphoria. Gorgeous show to watch. That shit put me
Definitely.
through the ringer. Like it puts me through the
Yeah.
ringer a lot. And like that second season was just that's a whole other conversation that we don't
No,
need to have right
exactly.
now.
I feel the same exactly. It's like so well. I mean, because that's the thing. Before I was at Georgia State for like 2 years, like years ago, but I was a film student before I dropped
Right.
out. So it's like
I was gonna bring that up, yeah.
yeah, I was trying to be a cinematographer, so I got like a real extra, appreciation for just like really good visuals, and it's like the the plot and all that shit get kind of wacky with the season 2 Euphoria, but like the shots, like this is mind blowing, like just like visually.
Yeah,
And
it's just gorgeous. It's so I don't know, just like like anytime they're in a house, like the whole ending scene where son who looks like Mac Miller, whose name I always forget, like where like they're about to raid the house and the little kid
yeah,
gets just like everything about the show, like it's just a gorgeous thing to look at. But then I like think about what it's about and think about that whole episode with like Rue running between the apartments and all
yeah,
fucked up on drugs, and I'm just like it's just like it doesn't make me sad. It's just like it's just like a very specific kind of stressful that I got to be in a mood to enjoy it.
yeah,
Like
no,
real
exactly.
particular. Like
Exactly, but yeah, I feel like that's the new generation's like skins, is like
oh,
skins the
100%.
grass type shit. Yeah, just some a little edgier, but it's also like a reflection of. I mean, it's definitely a tad bit exaggerated, but a reflection of the state of the culture, the world right now. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. Like just I don't know, like yeah, there's just no, there's something about it that feels like really fresh, but also like old school minded. And it made me think of like 2 days ago, I saw Honora, the Sean Baker movie that just came out. And like it's not one of one to Euphoria, but it has like a similar vibe in the sense that like it takes this like sort of genre that's like established in like like Euphoria is like a high school drama in the tradition of like you said, Skins and stuff like that, which I love. I grew up off of Skins, that's my shit. But
right.
like like Honora's kind of like it's like a screwball romantic comedy, like one of those like old school fucking like Some Enchanted Evening or It Happened One Night, like on some like, hey, we're like these weirdly different people who fall in love, and like I hate you at first and then I love you, and like the movie is that, but about halfway through, like it starts out with these like it's about a sex worker and the son of like a Russian billionaire, and like he pays for her time, they fall in love, they get married, it's like a quick little thing, and then out of nowhere his family is like, hey, this kid is 21 years old and he does this shit to people all the time. Like he doesn't love you. Like we need to annul this marriage. Da 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 da. It's like the whole thing just turns into like we need to find the kid, get the marriage annulled. Like it's just like it's like the most fucked up romantic comedy I've ever watched. It's almost like an anti-romantic comedy.
Yeah, no, that's a plot twist right there. Yeah, I got to tap in.
Shit is crazy. I like to think of it as something like I like to think of it as something like it's like Pretty Woman meets Uncut Gems. That's the best way I can put it. It's like it's like that type of vibe, but like it kind of but Euphoria feels the same way. It made me feel a lot of the same ways that Honora made me feel. So it's I'm still on the fence about whether or not I like liked it or what, but like I'm still thinking about it. So it definitely like shook me a little bit.
Yeah,
Type of
exactly. Exactly.
So Benny, let's go all the way back with you. I'm so interested in this one. What's the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Like first experience that comes to mind for you.
first is probably I mean there's honestly two because I'm not sure. I think they're around the same time, but I definitely went to go see Scooby Doo the movie in theaters.
The live
And I was
action joint.
yeah, I had went with my dad, but also with my dad around the same time when I was like 6 or 7. He I think he had it wasn't Netflix, it was like Blockbuster had like a DVD, like a little online service or some shit. And he had Kill Bill. And even though I was like in early elementary school, he let me watch it with him. And I just remember like I just thought it was like an extra cool movie, but also like looking back as an adult, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, why did you let me see that? But he put me on to because there's another movie he got like a couple years later. It was a Hard Candy.
Oh, I know
And
Hard Candy.
yeah,
Wow. How old were
yeah,
you? You watched Hard Candy, son?
yeah. I was probably like 10. I was like 10, 11, but like
Yo.
but it was really good. That's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
ever.
Oh, damn. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, my
This
dad
is
put me on to some random shit.
that's tough. I didn't expect to be going here tonight. Wow. So talk to me about how you feel. Okay, even before that, for anybody who doesn't know, Hard Candy is how do I even describe what Hard Candy is about? It stars Elliot Page back when they were Ellen Page, back when he was Ellen Page, and Patrick Wilson. The two of them. He's like a younger, he's like a teenager at a Starbucks who lures this creepy photographer into like basically puts him in a honeypot and threatens to kill him for being a pedophile, basically. And it goes places. It's tell me how you felt about Hard Candy. Why is this one of your favorite movies of all time?
It's one of my favorite movies because it's so well like shot and edited. Like because it's up there with like Requiem for a Dream. That's another one that I'm like the editing and like the composition is so crazy, even though it's like darker like subject matter.
Yeah.
But like one, like it's put together so well, like the pacing of it, it's so well. But it's like, yeah, just like all the plot twists, because it seems like like a wolf luring in a sheep the whole time. Like the sheep's really a fucking like shark. Like
Yeah.
it's some whole other shit. So yeah, like the plot twist, I mean, then just like the timing of it, I feel like it was real like Y2K in the sense and like the feeling of it. Like he was talking about like, oh, I pirated this Gold Frap album and this down the third, like early cop.
Word.
Yeah, it was real like I feel like it's real like yeah nostalgic in a way, and then just because I mean they kind of like have technology and all that, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily like put an exact time period on it. Like I feel like you could watch it and it seems like it's in the range of the time almost. But yeah, no, it's just it's so crazy. And then like the psychological part of it is like that's all. I feel like that's like the perfect film. 10
Yeah,
out of 10.
it's sorry, what did you say?
I said 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, so I remember this was '05, so I had to be like, I was 14, 13, 14, 15. I wasn't much older than you. So I don't know why I'm tripping like this, but I think I found it. So like Apple used to have a thing called Apple movie trailers where they would put like all the movie trailers for every movie, like big, small, whatever that was coming out. And I used to be on that motherfucker every day, just like trying to. I was the kid watching all the movie trailers, and I saw the poster, and the poster is the poster is Elliot Page in the bear trap, in the little I'm in the red hoodie and everything, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I go and watch it, and like the trailer is the way the trailer's cut, and like just everything you said, like it's all in the trailer. And I'm watching it, and I'm just like, this looks insane. Like I need to find this, but like I didn't find it until maybe like a couple years later because a homie had it on DVD. Or maybe I like rented it. Either a homie had it or I rented it from somewhere. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm like, I think about that ending all the fucking time. Like just like if y'all don't want spoilers for the movie, please skip ahead like maybe a couple minutes. But like so like the ending of Hard Candy is I forget it's Haley. So Paige is in the movie, their character's name is Haley. So Haley has Patrick Wilson, whatever his character's name is, strung up. His name's Jeff. So Haley has Jeff kind of strung up, and she tells him, like, you know, I'm gonna expose all the shit you got going on if you don't, like, kill yourself right now. She's like, go up on the roof, hang yourself off the top of your house, and I won't tell anybody what happened here. Like, it's really like on some cat and mouse shit, like Ben just said. And then like they go through it to the point where he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And they just like like everything goes out in slow-mo as a foot goes off the ledge, and like they draw it out as long as possible, make it super dramatic. It's super fucked up, super traumatizing. And then the movie ends with Haley going, I lied, I'm gonna tell everybody. And that's just the end of the movie.
Bro, that's just so well done. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why my dad would recommend me watch it, but this should change my life. Like, that's an art movie right there. Like, that's because, yeah, like you said, it was I mean, that's crazy how you found it, like the Apple thing, because it definitely was like a random, like, independent one, and one that I feel like, you know, I'll be bringing up here and there every now and again, and like a lot of people don't be knowing it. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, that's a must see.
Honestly, like it's crazy because like I feel like for me, a big part of how I got into like indie movies was because of stuff like Apple Movie. Like, to me, that was YouTube before YouTube. You know, like that was like where I got all my movie news, and like I was already trying to go see everything anyway as a kid. But like that really, like that put me on to like the handful of joints that I was like, oh, like this is the type of stuff that I love, and I wouldn't be able to find it anywhere else. But like, you really got to hold on to that stuff that just like falls in your lap out of nowhere and just like changes your life on some like, oh, this is, you could do this with a, you know, you do this with music, you could do this with, you know, like it's like I had that same, I feel you, man. Like this is it's so good. It's crazy that we watched it when we were like 10 and 14, 15, but like it's so worth it. Like I don't know. It's worth the it's worth it. I'm not mad.
Definitely. I mean,
Shit.
yeah, a little traumatic, but you know, good morals too. Is like, be a good person. You don't gotta worry about having ultimatums like that. Like, it's real simple.
Right. It's yeah, no, it's like the simplest message ever. Like, do good and you won't gotta go through that, you know, like chemical castration and forced hanging and like just, oh man, like the things this man has to go through. I mean, like, fuck him, but like the things he has to go through are just like but yo, so I mean, like, so getting older and developing your palate, expanding your taste, becoming your own person, I like to think of this as like a capital M movie. What's it's like the movie that made you fall in love with like the art of movie making, like that connected with you in like an emotional or artistic or spiritual sense, like one of the, you know, like that, like this is a more than just like 90 minutes of entertainment, or it could just be like an exceptionally crazy 90 minutes of entertainment, because entertainment is art too.
Yeah, I think I mean, honestly, yeah, even within that one, I feel like it's probably two main ones, because it's Hard Candy, like I just said, that was a pretty strong one. But then even I think I saw Kids when I was like 14, 15, maybe, just like, you know, being on Tumblr and like Kids, City of God. There's like a handful of movies that like you know, you've seen everyone talk about, so you tap in. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Kids, City of God, Hard Candy. I know you said one, my bad, but I
That's
feel like
cool, bro.
Yeah, those kind of were like ones that I saw like in high school / early in my life that like left a pretty deep impression. Because I mean, even with Kids, it's like, I feel like, I mean, it's presented as a story, but I really feel like it's like a documentary. It's like a day in the life, you know, and however, you know, gray or gruesome that could be. But I was just like, that's what I was saying, like Euphoria, like where it's like, you know, on a level.
Kids is Euphoria 1.0. Like,
yeah,
100%.
exactly. Like, on a level people could see it and be like, oh man, yeah, this is so crazy. Why would you put that show? But on another level, it's like all they did was condense like different, stories and experiences that these actors or people like that these actors are portraying, like, really go through. Like take a slice of, oh, maybe this 5-minute scene is a story that this skateboarder told me, and maybe this 5-minute scene is like, whatever. So I feel like, yeah, like that one hit like on some documentary shit. And City God, that's just like, yeah, this is crazy well done.
Perfect
Crazy,
movie.
crazy coming of age, for sure.
Damn. I mean, like, I want to start with kids real quick because, yeah, like, I also saw kids around, like, must have been like 14, 15, 16. It was definitely high school. Like, I grew up right outside New York. Like, I'm in Jersey, like 20 minutes outside of the city. So, like, that's like, there's a lot of runoff there anyway, just like culturally, and like a lot of exchange across states. But, like, like that was, like, I was already into skate culture at that point, but just seeing it portrayed that way and learning later on that most of them kids were not actors. Like the only handful of them who were actors were Telly, Chloe Svaney, Rosario Dawson, and the kid who played Ghost. I think everybody else in the movie was just like a kid they hired.
Yeah, a random kid. Like, yeah, some of them had like motion in the skate community, but still just like niggas. Like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's really like a documentary damn near. Like, yeah, like there was like scenes and shit, but all of them are pulling from, this is just like a day that they might live if they weren't in this film type shit.
Yeah, bro. It's just like all the like all the beauty and just like the ugly, gritty shit that comes with that. Like this is like like this movie takes place at like not the peak of the AIDS crisis, but like AIDS is running rampant. Like at least one character in the movie has it and gives it to somebody near the end in a real that's the ending of Kids is still one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. It's so sad, but like what a movie, man. Like I don't know. It's like yeah, that was one of those where I mean, like I didn't feel seen in the sense that like I see myself in this, but like I felt seen in the sense that like this is something I'm interested in. And they really got at the root of it, like you said, like really on some like cinema verite documentary type shit. Like Harmony Korine is just, I just rewatched Gummo for the first time in like 15 years because I got the Criterion Collection re-released it, so I like needed to own it because it's one of my. I love Gummo. Gummo is amazing. You never seen Gummo? Oh, if you like kids, go find Gummo. That's the movie he made right after, because I think Harmony Korine wrote Kids and Larry Clark, who yeah.
It's so like Larry Clark's Kids type shit.
Yeah, right. But yeah, at some point go find Gummo, because Gummo is like Gummo's like Kids if it took place in Tennessee. It's like the plot's even looser. There's even fewer characters in it. It's quite a bit bleaker in my opinion, but like I don't know, just like Gummo's definitely one of those if you're into that sort of thing. Like really kind of like grubby, but like super gorgeous, and the soundtrack's great. I don't know. It's crazy because there's a Criterion included this little booklet that has Hype Williams wrote like a page-long tribute to Gummo, and he was just like, this is one of my favorite movies, and when I saw it I had to show all my homies. Like when I was on tour and we were shooting videos on the bus, like I was showing everybody this movie. Like I show everybody.
Inspired Hype Williams, because that was early 2000s, like really at peak of his run. So it's like, oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna tap in.
Yeah, he like I had no idea that he was jacking the movie like that, but I read the thing and then like, it makes sense considering like everything Hype Williams has done, and he was just like, I think he said something along the lines of like, I want whatever videos I make to make people feel the way Gummo made me feel when I first saw it, and I was like, whoa, like okay, that's I just never thought so anyway.
Yeah. That does make sense though. Yeah, I mean, because that style, it's so like aesthetic. I mean, because that's what I'm saying. Like subject matter aside, just like the style of Harmony Korine, it's like a particular type of like just like coolness to it, and it's like It's applied across the board. So yeah, shout out to bro. Honestly,
Yeah, man. God damn. And I saw now that I'm thinking about it, he put out what's it called? Aggro Drift. It must have been like late last year. I managed to catch that because they put it in theaters for like 2 weeks. And yeah, like the whole thing shot in infrared. The whole thing soundtrack by Arab Music, who I had on the pod earlier this year. Kind of crazy. But like shameless plug. But like fucking yeah, I don't know, man. He Harmony Korine is such a weirdo for so many different reasons, but he's somebody who like I'm just always in awe of how he like you could tell he really loves making movies and like putting his ideas on the screen and like playing with all the tools he can get. And I like outside of like my weird feelings about generative AI, I think it's just really cool for him to be as old and experienced as he is and still just like let's try this new thing. Like I don't know, that's inspiring to me just on like a primal like when I'm older I want to be moving like that type shit.
No, exactly. That's like artists in the traditional sense, you know. It's like when we think about like all the greats, the Picassos and all that, you know, there was Gray still producing some of their best work damn near, or even like Quincy Jones, you know, being in his older age doing Thriller, like, you know, he was already established, accomplished, and then he was like, let me take it up a notch. So it's like, yeah, I love to see it. The passion, the artiste with the little apple on the E.
Big facts. Yeah, and think about Quincy Jones. Yeah, like my favorite Quincy Jones thing ever is that project Back on the Block he made around like the New Jack Swing era with like Ice-T and people on it. Like it's like super duper 90s coded, but like I love that shit. Like I had to listen to it after he passed away. He's just I don't know. He was rest in peace to Quincy Jones, man.
Facts. And he did that.
But now let's do the music thing with you. When did music, like not even in terms of you wanting to make it, but when did music become capital M music for you? Like when did it or I mean like I can't imagine music was ever a passive thing for you. But when did you really start to like notice it and take it in?
There was a moment for sure. And I was like it was like 4th, 5th grade because it would be you know, every morning for my mom would take us to school, like, you know, the TV would just be on like MTV and the little music video mix and like that, you know, just getting like, cause of course, you know, we'd be in the car listening to the radio, but it's gonna mainly be rap R&B, like occasionally top 40 pop, but like mainly rap R&B. But like the morning before school, getting like a blast of like everything that's going on right now and like every genre that like did it. Cause I remember like when that Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz came out, and then of course the music video, like and me being in like in 5th grade, I'm watching the music video, it's a cartoon, like, but the song is like crazy because I mean that was probably my first time I like heard some like just extra alt melancholy type, you know, up tempo rap blend shit. Like that shit's insane. So it was yeah, that got me like conscious. And then like that was like the first CD I asked for. I think we were at like Barnes and Nobles or something, and I saw the cover for Demon Days, and like I asked for it, and then like I'd take a CD player to school and just be like listening to it, like in between class, and then after school at the ASP program and shit. Like yeah, that was my the Gorilla Demon Days. That was the one. But MTV, a little music video mix for sure.
Yeah, yo, like okay, Demon Days, like that, yeah, like Demon Days cracked my whole head open the first time I heard it, and it was either Feel Good Inc. or it was either Feel Good Inc. or El Mañana. I can't remember which song it was that did it for me, but like both the videos, like the El Mañana video is a direct sequel to everything happening in Feel Good Inc. with the flying the windmill and all that stuff, like I don't know, like Gorillaz really, yeah, like that album sent me in about 8 different directions on its own, you know, like that wasn't the first place I heard Doom because like I had already been into him by that point, but I recognized that Doom was on that album and was like, oh, he's here, and then this Danger Mouse guy who worked with him was here too, and just like learning that Damon Albarn was the dude from Blur and all the other people that like it's just like there's so many that album played such a huge role in like pushing me toward more alternative stuff. Like it can't be overstated, and it's done that for so many people.
Yeah, that opened my eyes for sure.
Like, because I know you I know you chose that as your perfect 10 for the little pitchfork thing you did not too long ago, and I saw that and I was like, like like if I had to pick one, that's easily one of my favorite albums ever. Like even the I'm trying to remember you remember the name of the sketch or like the skit they did that was like about some hang on, I'm gonna just go to the album and find it real quick. If I can do that, there it is. Go to album. It's where is it? Not every planet we reach is dead. Fire coming out of the monkey's head. Like
on the whole like tale of the town and how it got disturbed and the balance needed to be restored and shit. Like
Yo, my fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early day before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm gonna be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking. Yeah, like man, I don't know, like just the whole universe Gorillaz created at that time. Like those first 3 projects to me are like stone cold classics. Like Plastic Beach is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah,
like,
no, that got some sleepers on there, like some real deal. Yeah, that got some of them ones.
Oh God, yeah.
Empire Answer or one the one with Little Dragon. Like
it's Empire Ants.
So crazy.
Yeah. There was a period of time, like so dead ass. Rhinestone Eyes was my ringtone for like 2-3 years. like back when I still had ringtones, like that was my ringtone. I love Gorillaz. I love that album. Demon Days, like both of those albums are just so important to me. So I feel you. And then I'm happy you brought up the music video thing, because I know there was, like you already mentioned that like you went to school to study film and be a cinematographer, and I know there was a period of time where you wanted to like shoot music videos and like do that. So I typically ask people, when did you first consciously link film and music together in your head? And I think like this is like, when did that first happen for you? I assume it happened through a video, but like how did that happen?
Yeah, really just through the like blend of music videos, because it was like, I guess it kind of like embedded it, in my mind that like every song, like, because when I go into like the process of making music, like I kind of like envision like the scene, or what would be like happening like around it if it was like scoring something. So yeah, that like the music videos, that definitely just laid the foundation. Yeah, just the whole, not even like one particular video, just seeing them every day and just being like, okay, like if it's a song, then it has a visual feeling, a visual accompaniment,
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Just like between like TRL and 106 and Park, and like my favorite was always BET Now. Like I would just like throw that on, and like stuff like I'm just trying to think of random videos like Jeezy Soul Survivor, Destiny's Child's Cater to You, fucking Oh by Sierra, One Thing by A. Marie, like that like that's my pocket. right there, you know, like that type of shit. It's like people like just people like dancing like their lives dependent on it, like either like in front of like an abandoned building on some like Omarion touch shit, or like in front of like a backdrop on some one thing type, you know, like that's
Exactly, because before social media, that was like really the main way outside of like concerts, people could like display the personality. Like I said, give the sounds a visual, you know, like match type shit. So it was like, yeah, I feel like visual is so important.
yeah, easy. And then like on top of that, I'm happy to have you here because I can finally like ask you about this, because like I feel like every time you bring it up in interviews, nobody digs into your love for game soundtracks. Like I've never heard you talk about this shit. So like, you know, like so like game soundtracks. What's like what did they do for you? What are some of your favorites? Like obviously it's very prominent in the music, but like
Yeah,
what, yeah, talk to me about that.
yeah. I mean, because that was the main thing is like, you know, I was definitely like a big fan of the music growing up, but like on the flip side, I'd be playing like hella video games. And the type of like video games I would lean towards like hella RPGs and shit, like Final Fantasy
Mhm.
and Kingdom Hearts and Pokemon and all that shit. But it'd be like honestly just like, you know, sometimes I'd have the game pause and just like let the tracks run because it's like such, you know, complex like orchestration to like follow it. And yeah, just all the textures and even like playing like hella like Game Boy Advance games and shit growing up. 'Cause
Mhm.
I had PlayStation, PlayStation 2, GameCube, all that. But like I feel like specifically playing the Game Boy Advance and like, you know, all the sounds like, you know, being forced to like no matter like how they're written, like still, you know, be like limited to like chip tune type shit, you know, more so than, you
Yeah.
know, the full complex ideas that the people might be making. It was like, yeah, there's one Mega Man game that had like the craziest soundtrack. I think Mega Man Battle Network, that series, because
Uh-huh.
like in there, you know, the whole premise is like Mega Man like goes into the internet type shit. So it's like you got the soundtrack for when you're just in the real world, but when you're in the internet, like there's like the sound for it. So that was like always so crazy to me. Like, whoa, like we can hear technology type shit. So it was like that one had honestly like one of the bigger I feel like impacts to like the exact like sounds I'm making like right now. Like
Yeah.
yeah, hours and hours playing that one.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. Cause I mean, like, just even you touching on like, there's really something special about people. Like, people don't understand that you really gotta like that music gets written out and then like compressed into 16-bit to be like made for the games. I learned that when I was like I was playing the Crash Bandicoot games, and like and you're like the way those like the composer, I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, he uploaded all the original orchestral compositions of the Crash music to his SoundCloud. And I'm listening to like all of these, and he's just like, yeah, no, we had to compress all of this down for the game. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like just seeing the work and effort, and like you said, just like all the details and them having to like put it into these little like, yeah, nah, like I just rebuilt a Game Boy like from scratch recently. So like so I could play my sister got me Metroid Fusion, which is one of my favorite games of all time for Christmas last year. So like I've been like very in that headspace of like revisiting like Game Boy Advance stuff. And I don't know, man. There's like I'm with you. There's just something really special about that, and like the
Because
way
like
like
I said,
yeah.
sometimes people even you know sometimes those composers will have like the like orchestra versions like you know do like a one night only concert of it or some shit or like upload
Yeah.
the music or you know someone might like transpose the MIDI or like whatever. But when it's like putting you know the real strings and real horns and real keys and shit like you really get to notice it. But you know like we were just saying on the flip side like to get it to play out your Game Boy, to get it to, you know, not take up so much data on the PlayStation. Like they got to, you know, play it to like a little synthesized, a little computer sound. So that is even like a big inspiration to where it's like still like complex and thoughtful musically, but like the sound choices are like, extra like early 2000s, like I said, like just chip tune, extra like Casio keyboard sound and shit.
Mhm.
Like that's the sweet spot for me.
Truly, like, yeah, and like, that reminds me, I got, it was in an issue of Nintendo Power. They sent a CD of the Smash Bros. Melee soundtrack, but it was like fully orchestral. They did exactly what you said, like a one night only. Like, they just played a bunch of classic Nintendo songs with an orchestra.
Mm.
And like, I wish I knew where that CD was, because it has some of my favorite renditions of those songs I've ever heard. But
Uh,
like, but I mean, like, just thinking about stuff like that, and Jet Set Radio Future has my favorite soundtrack of all
yeah,
time. Like, that like, not even just on some video game shit, but that just really put me on to so
nah.
much like fucking like house and drum and bass and like
Bro,
that. Yo.
it's crazy you said that because I was just thinking about that last night. Honestly, like it's so crazy you said that. Like it's about the house and the drum bass specifically because I'm like the style of so many like those like PlayStation, Dreamcast like type games. Like yeah, they were putting like real deal like because that's what I'm saying. We would call it video game music for like something like menu music and all that shit. But it was real deal like house and drum and bass and garage and EDM shit, but then like I said, having to be like broken down into, the simplest like sounds to fit data wise on the CD is like a whole other swag to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a combination.
Yeah, but yeah, nah, like, that's one of the reasons I always loved the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack. It just really like I still listen to it. Like, I'll like pull it up on Spotify and just like run it. It was an album that like that like one of my best friends on the planet like had ripped from somewhere, like sent it to me, and I just had the MP3s, and they were like precious for like 10 years. And then they put it on Spotify, and I gave in, and I was like, I guess I gotta go. But like, I don't know, man. Like that like game music of all stretches, whether it's like the compressed 16-bit stuff or like the stuff that's featuring like dance music, like obviously the Def Jam games. Like, I'm a big Vendetta, Fight for New York. I got both those shits over there. Like, like, but like, that's once again a whole other conversation. But like, yeah, like I hear so much of that in your music. Like like all of University sounds like a gigantic Nights in the Dreams level to me.
Yeah,
Like, and
exactly. I mean, no, that's how I think about the albums. I'm like I like this each song would be, a level in the game, type shit. And what would play into that sound like. So it's yeah, that's what I'm thinking about them.
yeah. So I mean, like, taking that perspective, and like knowing that you were in school for a little bit, and like this is, like, obviously like you're working on stuff at this time, but when did you first know that music was going to become more than just a hobby for you, and that this was like, I'm making a go of this, like, fuck the other shit?
Probably yeah, probably around the same time I left school because I started making beats in 7th grade and like I was kind of shy about it. Like I told probably like the whole time from like 7th grade till I graduated high school, I might have told is that what company? Oh my bad.
There you go.
I told like two or three like friends that I like that's what I'd be doing. Like I'd be making beats, whatever. And it was like two friends I went to like another school. I would be like recording with them, but I was like, kind of just low key about it. Like you said, like a hobby, just something that like I did. But after 2 years at Georgia State, like I started kind of going out to shows and getting in the mix and meeting people, and then I started DJing myself. And it was kind of like just a bunch of opportunities coming like back to back. I was like, all right, I'm only gonna be this young once, and like there's a window for me to try. And I mean, honestly, like every year for a while until like more recently, I would always feel like, all right, I'm gonna give it my all. If it's like truly not meant for me, by the end of the year, I'm gonna like go to some alternative option type shit. But, it's always been like enough of an opportunity for me to keep pushing for the next, month or a couple months for another opportunity or something that just always kept me like wanting to pursue it, where I'm like, all right, like I'm seeing the results. Obviously, there's some type of reason for me to be doing it. So yeah, it was like I said, just yeah, starting to get in the mix and get out more, all that.
When was that specific moment when you were like, yeah, I'm not going back to school? This is it.
Honestly, it was because I think it was like my sophomore year, the second semester. Like I think it might have been like February. I did acid for the first time with some of my friends, and like the second that like it really kicked in, I was like, oh no, like this is like music path I'm starting on. Like this is 115% like what I want to do, and then like I just couldn't unfeel that way after that. Like before I was like kind of like, all right, this is something I'm doing. All right, it's kind of cool. Like I'm starting to get in the mix with it. But yeah, after like the second the acid kicked in, I was like, whoa, nah, this is like the exact life that I want to lead. And then just couldn't unfeel that way. So yeah, like the semester ended, and I just didn't go back the next year, and just started to go like full force with the music.
Right. Yeah, like you're and I mean like it's like just me sitting with your stuff and reading things and watching things and like refamiliarizing myself with the journey, like it it just kind of blew my mind just to see how much you were doing before you had even got to this point with university and Oasis. Like you're managing at this time, like you and Bear are doing your thing, you're producing, you're DJing, Popstar FM happens, like you do your own label, but even before that, like you're making crazy amounts of beats and just like you're really like like people talk about being eclectic and being tapped in, but you're really like ripped in at the source on some like crazy shit. Like people like people that like people that are gonna blow in like 2-3 years, you've already made whole projects with on some shit, like so it was like really dope to see. It was really dope to see you kind of run and fly with Popstar FM and just kind of like bet on yourself after like establishing a little thing. So like, like talk to me about establishing Popstar FM, like why you decided to do it when you did, and whether or not running your own label ever affected the way you make and put out music. I'm always curious about that for people who are on both sides of that equation.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for all those words. I appreciate it, man.
No
It's been
doubt,
quite
bro.
hella fun though. But that was like 2017 because I think yeah, I left school like around what was that? Like yeah, right around 2015, and then like I was in the mix. My homies Rob Olu and APAD, a couple other folks, they had like a group called Yako Pack, and they were cool with this group called Larry League that they were both doing their thing like on the side of town in Cobb County. So like I was DJing shows with both of them, and that kind of like spiraled into me being in the mix, like Yachty and Polari and just like everything cool that was going on. But all that's to say, like 2015, 2016 was me like starting to run into a whole bunch of folks, and like 2017 it was like Tony and Sensei and all the homies, they would all be Lincoln recording, making like 4 or 5 songs, like 3-4 times a week, just all this crazy shit. But the thing was, it would just be these cool little songs that they just be playing, and oh yeah, run that song from last week that we did, and then just stay in the notes app type shit.
Yeah.
So like Popstar FM, it was really like, all right, like we in our little personal circle of 15, 20 people got all these MP3s and shit that we be floating between each other and fucking with and making. But I'm like, the whole world doesn't know about this shit. So like it was really like, as like a way to highlight like all the like low key, if type stuff going on. Cause I mean, like the primest example honestly was there was this group Danger Inc. and
Mm-hmm.
they went crazy, of course, but like before they dropped their first song, like for 4 or 5 months, there was like a private SoundCloud link of it. But it was like a song that they would like start doing at shows and stuff, like just like around the scene and all that. And that was the thing. Like I said, it was on some know you know shit. Like if you was in the loop, like you already had the song. It was called Diamonds, and like you just knew it was a hit, and you knew that they was like the craziest like thing that was about to happen. But like the whole world not in our inner loop. So like I said, like yeah, Popstar FM was definitely the highlight. And it was just like perfect timing because I had the idea of it, but my boy Sensei had hit me up out the blue, like really on some like divine time and shit. He was like he had like an unreleased song with Lil Yachty, and he had an unreleased song that he produced for Thousand Man Fani, and he was like he wanted to get like both of them out, and like he would like basically like gift them to me to like premiere. So like me being able to premiere like two Sensei ATL songs, 2017 Yachty and Thousand Band, like that was the foundation. Then everything else was just highlighting, like I said, shit since it was producing, shit Tony and them was making, just all the homies, people around, originally around Atlanta, and then just around the internet. If I saw them having something cool going on, want to highlight it, like the same way like Fool's Gold, like a label I look up to, kind
Mm-hmm.
of how it's like all their artists, other artists that they work with, they all have their like own like careers and things going on, but it's kind of like they all like get drafted through Fool's Gold, damn near like to
Right.
have like moment, and like I said, HAC highlight, what's cool, what's going on. So yeah, just trying to be like a platform for that.
Yeah, and I mean, like as a DJ, like that's kind of like you're already inclined to be doing shit like that anyway, just because like I talk about this so often, but like that's like the job of a DJ. Like y'all are like selectors. Like y'all have your ear to the streets and you're putting people on. Like that's like, like I mean like of course like there's like an art to like scratching and blending and all that stuff, but like at the core of it, it's like this is some shit I like that I think you'll probably like, or like this is a theme. Let me put that, it's like that type of shit. So
Right.
like that's just so I mean like seeing you take that in your own direction and being inspired by somebody, but like I gotta give flowers to Sensei ATL, man. He's yeah, like I remember the first time I heard him in Tony's project, and just like I was like, who like that was like I needed to do all the deep dives
The deep
imaginable, man.
dive, 'cause when you do the deep dive, bro, you realize that all the types of beats that's been prevalent over the past couple of years, like this nigga's literally done them from 2014 to 2017. At some point, he
Yeah,
probably done made at least one beat exactly like whatever is cool at this exact second.
right,
Because the
bro.
thing that people don't know about the nigga is like he's a real deal, like classically trained, like pianist. So it's like some of the shit that he be making with Tony, like be feeling like samples, and it really just be like him knowing how to like play out like real R&B and real like no, that's
Yeah.
like a Beethoven level, like
Yeah, I was about to say on some Zaytoven shit. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Like yeah,
yeah,
no, because like and you're like, I mean, like I didn't get put on until Authentic Goods, and that was like what 2021. So like then you just start going back and doing the digging, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like y'all are like between like the stuff like you were doing and Sensei was doing, and like of course like Mexico Dro and like just like the whole plug wave. But that's once again the like see that's the thing. That's the thing I love about your music. Like everything I've heard of yours is like your shit is like rap in the purest form, because it's just all these different like just in like the most classical sense. Like it doesn't like obviously you're not making like rock cocaine dookie chain New York rap music, but it's like you're taking this like alternative influence, this dance influence. Like obviously there's a lot of Jersey club in what you do, which like
yeah.
Jersey nigga, I feel you. But like, it's like the video game stuff, the D&B and garage stuff, and it's like all these different regional, like obviously there's a lot of plug in there, but like you're taking all of this stuff and turning it into something that's like new and like that's like the most hip hop shit ever to me.
Thank you. I mean, because yeah, man. I mean, just to touch on it, it's like that's the way I think about myself. Even though I'm pulling from like all these worlds, it's like I think of it in like a real deal, like old school, like hip hop, type of way. So it's like I appreciate you noticing that for sure.
Yeah, nah, like I mean, like you can't make a song like All the Girls and not have that like historical background. Like you can't make stuff like man, I could just sit here and pull songs. I don't know, but like there's like I can just tell the way you put your stuff together that like you have, like even if you're not like an expert, you're at least like, oh, like let me see what this and this might sound like together, and it's not like derivative or you're like pulling just like a thing to like you're not like even though I have no problem with it, you're not just like pulling iconic samples that are gonna sound hot no matter what type shit. Like you're always putting your own little spin on it. And there was a period of time where I was thinking to myself, like there was a period of time early on when I was like Benny makes plug music, and I'm like, you kind of do, but it's obviously like more than just plug music. Like even forgetting the influences, like I don't know, like there's just even on Oasis, there's like once again there's like at least 2 different like club based songs on this album. There's one there the song with Glory Girl is my favorite song on this whole project. I can't get enough of it, son. Like just like and like that's and like once again like that's an iconic sample. I don't want to say where it's from, you go figure it out, but like you didn't just like I don't want this to sound fucked up. You didn't just like loop the sample. Like you put a whole mosaic around the sample, and it sounds like the song is falling apart the whole time, and like the shit's just like maintaining on the inside. It's inside a destructive bubble, But it's like amped and like epic in that way to me. Like just like this really crazy mix of old and new shit. And it's that shit is just cool as hell to me. It's like it's not easy to merge those 2 sensibilities the way you consistently do. So like
thank you. But no, I'm well studied, man. Because yeah, like I said, as much as I'm listening to all the new, turn up shit, all the new club shit, all the new trap shit, I'm equally listening to hella old R&B. I'm equally listening to hella old soul shit, hella old classic rock and alternative and indie, and I mean even like the traditional hip hop shit, like Dipset, fucking random Jay-Z, just I'd be having the different playlists where it's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this one for an hour and then listen to this one for an hour and listen to this one for an hour. So yeah, every time I sit down, it's like, yeah, I'm exactly like, all right, these drums from this rock song, like this bounce, this tempo is cool. Okay, these notes, this riff, because I mean, yeah, everything feels like everything, honestly. It's like hip hop's built on samples, so it's like built on every other genre, all the other cool parts of every other genre. So it's like, just trying to, do my part.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you smell me. Exactly. Like, and like you've worked with so many people on like a one-off project basis. Like, do you make your stuff in batches and send out packs to people? Or are you making shit to order? Like, how does that? Even with like Bear is like y'all have worked together so many times and done so many projects. So he might not be the best example because I feel like that's gonna be a little more personal, because like y'all are like linked like that. But like if you're working with like I don't know, just like if you're gonna make an album with like Spook or somebody, like are you gonna like send her packs or are you gonna like sit down and be like, I'm making these for Spook type shit?
It's I mean it's kind of a balance. I mean, because a lot of times my strategy really is just to make so many beats that when I take a second, like make so many beats, whatever style, that when I take a second and, go back over the, 20, 30 beats from like the past like 2 weeks, it'll be like, oh, like these 4 would be an easy fit to send to this person. Oh, I'm gonna put these 5 aside for, when I have this session with so and so later. So it's like, yeah, just yeah, really just kind of like making stuff free form and then, organizing it like after the fact.
Right. And like, and like that's the, like, to me, that's the really cool thing about a project like University, is the fact that like you had already made compilation albums before that, like at least like at least or what am I saying, at least 2. You have so many, but like I'm thinking of Happy Birthday Benny, an album in particular, because those are
Yeah.
2 of the other things I was able to find of yours, like or like at first. But like, like University kind of like University felt like a statement to me, just in the sense that like, hey, like, here's a project that I'm putting out on this, like, you still have Popstar FM going, but you team up with True Panther. They put this project out. It's got like, like you and Snow have been working together forever, but it's got he's on there like 3-4 times because he just had his big moment, like it's talk to me about all of that and putting University together, and like what the ethos was behind it, like what you like, why all of those songs and why did they make up University?
Yeah, man, for that one, it's like at that like point in my life, I was doing like a lot of recording with people. Like, so like just in a lot of recording and a lot of like sending beats. So like just in like different batches, like I begin like, maybe pull up on this person, get 3 songs with them, pull up on this person, get like, 2 songs. Maybe I send a 10 pack to somebody and they send, 4 songs back. So I just had like a playlist that was like maybe like 200, 300, just like random songs I've been getting with like so many people over the really like year leading up to it. And yeah, just sat down one day and like just trimmed it down because I would be listening to them on shuffle, but like whenever I'd be playing them, all my homies would be around and there'd be certain ones that like I would notice reaction wise, like, would stick out a little bit more. So yeah, just kind of like trimmed it from like, the main couple hundred to like, all right, maybe these 50, all right, these 30, all right, these 20 type thing. But even the like 20 that ended up being picked, it was like, putting it together and arranging it like tracklist wise to feel like a story, to feel like a plot. And I feel like for University, it's like if Atlanta was a video game,
Yeah.
like you're playing like you're playing a night in Atlanta, the video game type shit. So like the soundtrack of it. But it yeah, but really just, creating cohesion out of like a lot of varied songs. Cause yeah, I feel like for that, it's like the feeling of, the lifestyle there being out to like 3 a.m. Like I said, like I feel like, yeah, it's like an audio documentary, like a timestamp. Like this is how it feels to be young in Atlanta in 2022.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I remember when I wrote it up, one of the things I said about it was that like this is music for like a mini boss to thrash to or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
And like yeah, like there's like so many songs on here that'll feel like I don't know, like I can't imagine what the equivalent of like an Atlanta Bowser would be, but like there's like 5 songs where I'm like, this is like a Bowser battle where you got to go get the fucking mallet and destroy the bridge and throw them
Yeah.
in the fire. Like, it's like it really does like if Newgrounds still existed the way it did in the early 2000s, like your music would be in a Newgrounds game, like
Yeah.
easy, like that's like that's what I got from University. And like I was really stuck on the title of it for some reason, because it was like, I mean, like I don't know if this was your intention or not, but like I'm listening to it and I'm like, this does kind of sound like a coronation almost, and like hey, this is I don't know, there was just something about it that felt very statement-y to me, like, hey, I'm here, this is what I could do, like on some like, it wasn't just if you know anymore.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
No,
like
that was the feeling. Yeah, that was definitely the feeling. I mean, and yeah, just like the things that was happening at that time in my life. Like I think the SoundCloud documentary had came out like
right,
in the middle of that year. So it was just like, yeah, I was just feeling it. I was just feeling the magic. I was like, yeah, and this gotta be captured for sure.
right. And I mean, like Oasis, Oasis is crazy because University is like 40 something minutes long, and Oasis is like barely 15 minutes. You know, like it, but like it's so jam packed with details and features and sounds, and like it's like it's crazy to think that this and some rap songs are almost the exact same length, and they're like as detail packed as each other in different ways. And you know, like so I mean, just like I want to get into the fact that Oasis has only women on it, which is like amazing to me. I like just like the talent you corralled for this project is so cool. But like but like considering how this project feels different from University in that way, like just in terms of being shorter and you know like compressed and compact like a fucking 16-bit video game. Like talk to me about putting Oasis together and like you know like especially when compared to something as big and sprawling as University.
Yeah, I feel like for Oasis, I mean, honestly, the same thing. It's like the time period in Atlanta, like really like being in the mix and like going to shows. It's like the women is like putting some shit together, like putting some heat. Like they all, coming like they got something to prove, and it be showing in the music. So that was the main thing. Like I said, you go to shows and maybe like two or three people from the album, like might be on the show lineup or something like that. So everyone on the album was folks that I've been a genuine like fan of, and seeing them like all of them starting to get some type of, whether it be like blog and press appeal or just like organically like random cool girls I follow, like putting them on their stories and listening to them, or like I said, running into them at shows or different sessions. A couple of them I've worked with over the years. So yeah, it's just like the moment. It made sense. Like, all right, like if you're in the mix of Atlanta, then like that the girls is really like going crazy. But
Yeah,
like
bro.
outside of the immediate mix is like, I feel like people might know, like I said, one or two of the people from the album, but like just putting them all together, like this is a moment, people that should be on your radar for the next like, year to 3 years type shit. And like yeah, forecasting type thing. But this one was a little different because University, like I said, that was like a long time of just getting random songs from people and then like curating it after the fact. But Oasis, I went into it um, like True Panther. That got me this cool like treehouse type Airbnb for a week. So I like brought mic speakers, had my laptops in there. It was just like making a bunch of beats, scheduling everybody to pull up. Like some of the days it'd be like earlier in the day, midday, nighttime, but a lot of them it might be like, midday, nighttime session.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
getting in with everybody, one or two or three people each day, and just like taking all the songs that was recorded in that main hyper focused like week, and then trimming it down for this album. But yeah, this same ethos is just like creating the world where it's like, all right, this is Atlanta, the Atlantis, the planet, where it's like all women, and this is what it sounds like when you're on this part of the sphere. Maybe it's the ice planet when you're on this part, like maybe it's the prosperity god, but it's just like different scenes and stuff on the all women planet is all
Yeah.
meant. Um, yeah.
Oh, that's because I mean, like even just going back and looking at the track list, like of course Veda's on here twice, and Veda's been going stupid for the last like 3 years already, like at least, like like her two songs, and then Wiz with her and Sad Boy, like I had never heard of Sad Boy before, so like hearing her go up was hearing her pipe up was crazy. Like Glory Girl went nuts. I love I love Charlie's Angels with
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. How do you pronounce this name?
Abby Kayor.
Avi Kayor. Okay. Yeah,
Abby Kayor.
she's amazing. I like at first, I mean, like Reverb is still my favorite, but going back and having listened to it a bunch of times the last couple days, like Charlie's Angels is the one that I keep on coming back to as like a oh yeah, this might be the sleeper that might bump Reverb out the way at some point. And like
Yeah.
and you like I was watching your On the Radar thing you did. I watched it yesterday and like I just like had it on while I was playing Black Ops in the background and just like yeah, just like seeing like because if I remember correctly, those two songs made it into that mix you did. And you know, like seeing the way you like freak the mix of seeing the way you freak the blend of Quan some type of way with the other I don't know, like it's just like it like that almost I don't want to gas it too much, but it like that kind of felt like a it felt like a stylistic companion to what you were doing on Oasis. But like obviously Oasis is like all original stuff you're doing. But,
I mean, but like not see it, you be paying attention, man. Because the thing is, all the like DJ mixes and stuff that I do, it honestly is like it's kind of like a full circle thing. It's like, you know, everything I'm listening to and then like putting it together and playing with it, mixing it and having it all side by side, like in a way, you know, kind of be giving me all types of like production and stuff I did, and you know, the sequencing and the flow of the energy and all that. Like, yeah, the DJing definitely like inspires the way I go about the production and the way I like just think about the entire album process. Like, it all goes hand in hand for sure.
yeah, that makes sense to me because I mean, like it's not like you're on some Kaytranada shit where like every song is blending into each other. It's not like completely seamless, which like is cool, but once again, you know, like you've mentioned it a bunch in like other interviews. Like I just watched your interview with Eric. Shout out to Eric, that's the homie. Love that kid. But you know, like you mentioned like the spider web of influence and like the network of people like a bunch in that interview, and like that's the thing about your music is that you can see you like like the web and the degrees of separation it's just like a big ass mosaic of like these are my influences, these are people I know, like let's see what happens when I mix pink with blue, let's see what happens when I mix like magenta with fucking like gold, you know, like let's just see how it looks and how it feels, and your shit is just fun, man. Like there's no like how do I even put this, like it's fun, there's like it's not, and it's not even to say that your shit's not thoughtful, you know, like not in like a not in, I'm sorry, what?
Oh no, not even cutting what you're saying. I'm saying you're hitting the nail on the head though, because that's exactly what it is. Like the same with the Gorillaz shit, where it's like, you
Yeah,
know, they had the songs that like really like felt, you know, deep and heavy, emotional, but those shits grooved. Like, you know, they still had like a nice beat and all that. So
right.
that's like my blend. I mean, especially with Oasis and like moving forward with like a lot of stuff I've been making this year is like trying to take it there on the musicality, but you know, it still have the balance. It's still, you know, make you want to dance. Like, you know, you might be crying while you're dancing, but you still, it still make you want to dance.
Right. Yeah, you know, like your shit, like, you know, to go back to Gorillaz, it's not like you're not making like a Plastic Beach where like the theme of the album is about like, you know, like you're not making an album about global warming and like plastic waste and like environmental damage. Like that's not what either of these projects are. Like it's but like it's extremely thoughtful and studied on, you know, just like the musical side and like the way people are skating over these beats and just like it's just like perfect synthesis over all of it.
Thank you.
It's yeah, no, like the yeah, just like the mosaic is like I can see it, you know, you're talking about being visual before. I'm the exact same way. Like I see the world you're trying to create when I put your shit on. And it's not like, you know, like it's extremely thoughtful in every way. Like it's like the untrained ear might think it's like weird or offbeat or like not well put together, but like there's a lot of you put a lot of thought into your music. You put a lot of
Yeah.
thought on who you want over your music. You put a lot of thought into the way into just the way you blend your sets and your beats, and like, yeah, you know, like it really like, and also considering that you moved over to Cali, I appreciate you wanting to bring Atlanta with you wherever you go and kind of being like a emissary of like y'all's city, considering, I mean, like obviously I don't need to say how important Atlanta's been to rap forever. You know, like it's like, yeah, like y'all have been the epicenter for at least the last 20 years. But I think like I just thought about this now, just talking to you, but like considering that you're in LA now and not in Atlanta full time, and like that's, but you know, like it's in you, not on you, whatever. Do you feel how do you stay connected to home when you're not home
Yeah.
as a musician? You
I mean,
know?
I still, I mean, luckily, you know, just through, I mean, of course, through like my friends, I still talk to them back home, so I feel like connected. But just through like the internet and all that, you know, hopping on Instagram and all that, like I still feel like I'm in the mix. Like I said, just because a lot of the way I be finding music is just through like seeing what's cool, what's people posting on their stories and all
Word.
that. So, like all the Atlanta homies, you know, they're gonna be posting all the cool new shit, all the cool Atlanta girls, you know, they're always on whoever's next and having them on their story and all that. So yeah, just keeping my eye on you know their side of the world, like yeah, just through social media and shit. Yeah, keeping
Right.
up with the homies out there.
Facts. I mean, like, I'm happy you said that, because the general vibe of social media is like, I mean, like it's all kind of collapsing in on itself a little bit. It's once again a whole other conversation,
Mhm.
but but yeah, like on that tip, I can't tell you how much just like looking at somebody's story or like tapping in with like the same like 10, 12, 13 people who I know are like really, or like more than 12, 13 people, but like it's like it can't be overstated how important that is to just like have those connections, like no matter who it is, like no matter what region of the world they stay in, like, you
Right,
know,
exactly. Because that's like
yeah,
the same way how like you know I keep in touch with the New York and Jersey and up north club music and shit. Like I got the specific, you know, my homies from like that records who be playing a whole bunch of that stuff. You know, be tapped in what they be talking about.
mm-hmm.
All that shit is just like, yeah, no, social media is like definitely helped me, you know, stay on pulse with the whole entire world. I mean, it's a big, big, big part. You know, I mean, even with all the people from university and like I said, University Oasis, like some of those folks, you know, that might have been my first time working with them, but you know, it's like, you know, like I said, that's kind of like my internal check system. I'm like, all right, if this certain group of people who like have taste that I like, you know, highly respect, that I know like they're on all the cool shit first. If I
Yeah,
see them, you know, like fucking with your shit, you know, then I'm gonna tap in. You know, if I see like the cool blogs fucking with it, I'm gonna tap in. If I see, you know, whoever, I try to pay attention for sure.
facts. And like I typically don't do this, but I mean, like, since we're on the subject, like, who are you fucking with that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with in the future? I need to know.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, it's Demaya and Lil Ray. Like, I don't know if you listen to them yet, but it's these two rappers from Atlanta, but like they're a couple. So like they be like making like a lot of like collab music. Like Demaya just dropped a tape called Bonnie and Clyde. And Lil Ray is like he's on a lot of the songs. He's not on every song, but even the songs he's not on, he's still doing like ad libs and shit. But like they got like a cool blend of because they be getting on some like kind of unique samples. Like I think for one of the songs they might have Empire of the Sun.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
go.
Empire of the Sun. Yeah, they flipped into like some drill shit and all that. But yeah, no, Lil Ray and Demaya, Bonnie and Clyde. That's one of my favorite mixtapes of this year, honestly.
Oh, that's hard. See, I think oh man, I don't want to credit this to the wrong person. Alphonse put me on. I can't. Somebody was talking about this project because I've seen this cover before.
Yeah.
But now, but yeah, like you said it, I'm in. I'm a.
Bro, listen to that. Listen to that as soon as we get off, man. That's one of the ones. Like that's hip hop right there.
Hell yeah, nah, like that's like yeah, because I've been in like a huge Baby Osama mood the past week. I've been running Sexy Summer a lot for some reason, but like I'm in, but like between that and like Oasis and between that and Oasis and what the fuck else there was I've been listening to a lot of Makami for reasons. I mean, actually, no. By the time this comes out, it'll have already been out. I went to the Makami show. I'm writing about it for Hearing Things. Check it out if you're listening. But yeah, like I've been on like a huge like Makami. What the fuck is her name? Baby Osama, and like son DJ Rude One. I don't know if you know Rude One from Chicago. He put out an album called Upper Space. I just had him on the podcast last week, or like by the time this is out, it'll have been last week. But Rude One's dope. He works with he's older, but he works with like a lot of like he has a song with like Valet. He's got a song with Valet on here. He got a song with Pink Sifu on here. Really dope MC out of Chicago named Green Slime. Like so, like I've been in that type of headspace right now. So I think this will be a really cool palate cleanser. I'm a run this like the second we hop off.
So
thank you,
man.
Hell yeah! But man, this is man to formally wrap this up. Benny, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
If my life was a movie, it would be a coming of age story about a stubborn kid seeing through his dream.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What Keyblade would you have?
I have I might just have to go OG, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, how could you can't really go wrong with the OG. I just love Ultimate Weapon. I worked too hard to get it. So, oh damn, there it is. Yeah. Oh, see, where'd you get that?
Right, it's some random like comic shop just at this side of town. But yeah, man, real metal keep this shit kind of heavy.
Y'all can't see it, but he just pulled out the Keyblade. That's crazy.
Yeah, real chain, Mickey chain on and everything.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, see, I used to be at Comic-Con all the time, and I would always see the booths with the Keyblades. I'm gonna get one at some point. I can afford a Keyblade now, so I'm gonna run it.
Got to, because the shop I went to, it wasn't even too bad, honestly. For like a real metal one, I thought they'd be like taxing. I mean, maybe because it's just the base one, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, they definitely like is the store that be going to shops and all that. I think they were preparing for like some con that was coming up that week or so. So they had like extra prop weapons in there.
Yeah, nah. I would want Ultimate Weapon. I love the way it looks. I've always wondered like what would it be like to hold Ultimate Weapon, you know, just on some shit. But Benny, thank you, man. This was great. Like, yeah, I mean, like I already said it. Like I'm a huge fan. I love not just the music you make and the way you make it, but just like the scene and community you've cultivated around what you do and how much you look to helping to put artists on and just like all the different people you've worked with. Like I don't know, like you've put me on to a lot of people that I wouldn't have heard about until later. And just like seeing you work with like the homies like Mike and Niante and like the beats you give Sideshow, y'all need a project. Like y'all need a whole project at some point.
Bruh,
I'm gonna say
I just texted him a pack like 3-4 days ago. He replied back, "Yeah, it's time to do the project." So it's crazy he said that.
Come on, Holly. Yeah, no, we need that, Holly. If you're listening, please. Like, yo, but yeah, man. Like, it's just amazing to see you moving the way you move, and the album's great. I'm just excited for you, and I'm happy you gave me an hour and a half of your time. So thank you.
No, thank you, man. I'm happy. You know, you wanted me to talk about it. I appreciate it sincerely. It's not taking lightly. Thank you.
No, absolutely. You know, it's really my pleasure. It's the least I could do. Like,
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.